What's up, y'all? And thanks for tuning back in to another edition of my China Capri social network. Anyways, and nevertheless, I wanted to talk about this sad and tragic story, which happened to happen by way of my hometown of Birmingham, Alabama, and it's on behalf of a deceased coach who was a coach at Parker High School, which I am very familiar with, because if some of y'all know about Legion Field, it's only walking distance from Legion Field. This here coach, who is now deceased by the name of Demetrice Beverly, was caught in the, you could say, heat of passion and ended up suffering both severe and tragic consequences for it. Anyways, let me go straight to the story. Bear with me as I share my screen. And like always, I'm going to give my 2 cents.
Breaking news that we first told you about yesterday morning. A Birmingham high school football coach killed in a deadly shooting. This morning, the man charged in that killing, waking up behind bars. Parker High School shared this post of Demetrice Beverly. The school says he was an assistant football coach. He was also a former football and baseball player with the Thundering Herd. The school went on to say that Coach Beverly, quote, gave his all to the Thundering Herd on the field and in our community. He was a mentor, a husband, a father, and friend whose impact will live on through the countless lives he touched. DeCorleon Robinson is charged with Beverly's murder. Beverly was found dead at Lakeshore Ridge Apartments Wednesday night. Police say Robinson was arrested in the complex's parking lot. He is now in the Jefferson County Jail being held without bond.
And about the complex, apartment complex that it happened at, which happened to be Lakeshore Ridge Apartments. Let me stop sharing my screen. Hold on. That is a very upscale and luxurious apartment complex. And judging from what I was told, it happens to be mostly Black populated. Anyways, and on behalf of more details pertaining to this here sad and tragic story, the coach, who happened to be around 38, 39, somewhere between 38 to 40 years old, happened to be creeping when a sneaker linker hits a lady who happened to be 21 years of age. As a matter of fact, I'm going to show you some more people giving more elaboration and clarification on this here story. And the woman who he happened to be creeping with happened to have a man, and her man happened to be 23 years old. Now, he happened to be at work, her man, only and allegedly to be called on his phone while at work and be told that his woman, his girlfriend, some people say she was his wife, but she wasn't. She was actually his living girlfriend, was seeing a whole other man, and happened to be having sexual relations with him. So what he did was acted upon his very first instinct, the boyfriend, by leaving work early, allegedly, rushing to their apartment, him and his girlfriend's apartment, and going inside, then murdering the coach, the former coach, well, the now deceased coach, Demetrice Beverly of Parker High School. And judging from a coworker of mine, I was just talking to a coworker of mine earlier about this whole entire sad and tragic ordeal. Rumors have it. Hold on. Where is this coming from? My apologies. That's for having another window in the background open. Anyways, one of my coworkers happened to tell me, rumor has it, that he was seeing the coach, Demetrice Beverly, who was now deceased. He happened to be seeing the female, the young lady, way back during her high school days, which was already statutory rape, judging from just that alone. Now Not only that, but he happened to be married and he happened to have kids. Just from what I read, an article I read, two twin daughters. I said the twin daughters, and then another daughter on top of that. With that being said, let me share my screen again and show some more people talking about it on TikTok. Now, this here is the wife. And I have this here video muted because it has a song playing in the background. I'm trying not to get a copyright strike. As you see, the wife is not really a bad looking sister. Although she's caked up in makeup in this here post. This is them during their wedding day. And I also wanted to show this here footage of other people talking about it. I might also add, while I'm at it, this also goes to show you that he got what was coming to him, the husband. First of all, he was a married man with kids. Second of all, he happened to commit adultery. Not only that, but this is a perfect example of how, like it says in the Bible, for some of you, my pretty spiritual people or religious people, like it says in the Bible in the book of Galatians, whatever a man sows sparingly, he should reap sparingly. I believe it also says whatever a man sows to his flesh, he should also reap sparingly. Some way it goes. Anyway, it's dealing with whatever you do, whether it may be either good or bad, you will end up paying back. You will end up getting paid back whether you do either good or bad because of karma. For some of you people who may believe in karma. Anyways, let me stop talking. Where is it? Listen to this.
I'm gonna get up out of here. Y'all gonna have to hang in here with me on this one. You're gonna want to hear this shit. Alabama can't be a real place. That's why most of the time I don't even want to tell the motherfucker I'm from Alabama. Yesterday, a 23-year-old unalive, a 39-year-old, for being caught in his home with his 21-year-old wife. First, let me say this before I get started. My condolences to the family of the 39-year-old football coach. My condolences to his wife, because ain't no telling how she feeling this morning. That she lost her husband because he was in the house with a 21-year-old that had a relationship with someone else. I've been on Facebook, the news outlets, and all over social media trying to get this story. What's really bothering me is the people that's saying he dumb as hell. He shouldn't have did that. He finna go to prison for the rest of his life. Y'all acting like y'all ain't never did no low down, dirty ass shit. Y'all always trying to do this and that and this and that. Rest in peace, coach. You're right. Rest in peace, coach. But I'm gonna tell you this right here. I definitely did some low down, dirty shit, but I ain't never when it slept in the house with a man where his fucking wife live, woman, girlfriend, or baby mama. If you can't take me to a hotel room or the backseat of your motherfucking car, you won't get this right here. Point blank, period. I'm going to say this right here. I'm going to be praying for that young man. Because when you put love with emotions, it equals tragedy. How would you feel if you walked in your home and your husband or your wife was in the bed with another fucking person where you pay bills at? You don't know what you will do. You got a lot of people saying he should have just walked away. That was his shit. That was his shit. Love is a powerful word. Emotions is a powerful word. And disrespect is even more powerful. I hate that he resulted to that, but I'm not going to sit here and say he shouldn't have done that. Because if I walk in my fucking house and a bitch laying in my bed where I go hustle to help pay bills in, everybody got to go. Everybody. Y'all got to stop. Y'all always talking about what y'all would, could, should have, would have, motherfucking did. But bitch, you don't know what you will do until they put you in that kind of motherfucking position. That baby, 23 years old, had a nice job, working to see about him and his girlfriend, and that's what he had to come home to. Her sleeping with the damn football coach in his fucking house. I'm praying for him and his family. I'm praying for the wife of the football coach because this is a hurting situation. I can't believe that y'all motherfuckers is condoning the football coach. He ain't had no fucking business in that man goddamn house. You could have fucked up in the car if you didn't want to spend the money on a hotel room. And for your little disrespect ass little girl, you need to have some charges brought on your ass. You ain't had no business having that man in that man motherfucking house. Y'all play some dangerous motherfucking games. And then when people lose they motherfucking cool, y'all want to say, you should have just walked away. No, bitch. You shouldn't have played with me and my feelings and my love. Love is a powerful word. You put love with emotions and disrespect, and you get tragedy. Praying for that young man, baby. I hope they get you a good attorney, because you're going to need one, baby. That's it. That's all.
And word has it that the guy who committed the crime happened to have a Glock switch, which will already usually lead to, when doing prison time, a minimum of between 5 to 10 years. Like this here lady said, she hopes that he has a good attorney because he's definitely gonna need one after being reportedly caught with a Glock switch while committing a crime. And I was also told by a coworker of mine that right before the incident happened to pop off, right before he murdered old boy happened to climb the balcony, believe it or not, of the apartment complex instead of him knocking on the front door to do what he did when old boy girl. The coach, that is, he climbed over the apartment balcony, believe it or not. And due to the fact of how it happened to have a ring camera around the front end, which made sense, although he suffered very severe and tragic consequences for doing so. I just wanted you to know that as well. Just so, once again, just so he wouldn't be able to be seen on camera, on ring camera, by entering the front of the apartment, he happened to climb over the balcony to coach Demetrice Johnson, just so he could be able to have sexual relations with the girlfriend, the 21-year-old. Anyways, and this is such a tragic, crazy, and sad story. And like I said earlier, he got what was coming to him because, like I said earlier, first and foremost, he happened to be a married man. On top of that, he happened to have kids. And the insult to Israel, a married man who committed adultery. And prior to him being murdered, Mr. Demetrice Johnson, is no telling how many other times him and old God probably had sexual relations. I can imagine multiple times because, like I also said earlier, it's rumored that both him and old God relationship went way back to when she was in her high school years. And I'm just putting two to two together. She possibly could have been a student, a former student at Parker High School. And judged by that, that was how they, to be honest, how they actually crossed paths from the very jump. Anyways, make sure you like, share, comment, and last but not least, subscribe to the channel. And until next time, I'm out.